The fire of consciousness awakens in us. It sets in motion a transformational process that opens and purifies our heart, converting our human heart into a means for unconditional love to manifest into the creation. This experience is devotion. It impacts all parts of our system, healing, dissolving, and expanding us into a divine being. This is divine manifestation.
And this is the fire of love. When we open up and let the universe come in, we're so small that everything that's small burns or yields or opens, releasing trapped energy from the constriction of lifetimes of living as a human being caught in the thrall of the human identity, the human ego. And as the fire of love comes, it releases these contracted cellular DNA organizational structures, which are all about survival and succeeding, all about propagating itself and getting what it wants and avoiding what it doesn't want to enhance itself. All these contractions all this energy starts releasing, and they start burning. They catch on fire. One piece starts burning, catches another piece. An issue with a recent relationship becomes a clarification of a current relationship. A discovery over one part of yourself becomes an unfolding in another part of yourself. And you can't know all these because the body has its own rhythm in terms of revealing or being willing to let go of these structures. So transformation pops up over here, and then it pops up over here, and then fire burns in different locations. And once in a while, they become a confluence of fires, creating this fierce, fierce movement of transformation. What is burning? What is burning is the habit of the karmas, or the patterns of repetitive thinking, feeling, acting that has created separate existence, created misery in the long run, though it seems like happiness in the short run. It begins to show the very fundamental structures of repeatedly binding ourselves even when we know better. So this burning, in my own experience, takes the vital, which has all our energy and our capacity for action, and it converts it into a passion for divine, into a huge, big love that wants to burn, to be that, like a moth to a flame, to become the flame. The fire of devotion is a mindless activity because it's the cellular embodiment in matter. It's the Asat waking up to the possibility of merging with the Sat. It is a coming into the sunlight after eons of night. It is a coming forward of a possibility that laid latent, that didn't happen until the sun rose. And it just longs and strives and reaches, as it does right now with everything living. Every plant that's come out of the soil is reaching for the same greater light, the same greater possibility of being. And to whatever extent its vessel becomes the blossom, leaves, flowers, to preserve and create with its act of fruit or beauty, or magnificent station like the great forests of the world. They're all in the same process of becoming. They are in an act of devotion without knowing it. It is the organizing life force itself. So we become that current. We become that experience until all that in us has quieted enough that the awareness, the truth of what it is that is experiencing all this comes forward. And this is when devotion becomes truth. Because when the fire is done, what's left over? If a log is sitting, a wet log, lightning strikes, the log starts smoldering, right? What does it do? It just puts off steam as it tries to ignite. That's like a lot of us when we start the spiritual path. We're just kind of smoldering, right? Not little wickers of flame here and there. But if the flame can establish itself, it then starts drying out the wood itself, and the wood itself becomes more vulnerable to flame, to burn, and more starts burning. And at some point, the whole log is burning, giving off its fierce heat. And then where does it go? Where is it then? It's everywhere, all at once. Every piece of ash will land somewhere and become part of the nurturance of the next arising. It is the nature of the unfolding of truth, of something that never dies, something that's always born, something that is eternal and everlasting in its cycle of coming into creation. We are part of that. And we are the only piece of creation that can know this. We are that supreme being quality that is here to dive deeply and fully into all of this so that it may arise in the glory of what it is in truth. It's in those moments that the universe completes. It's fulfilled its purpose. That soul, that one expression of Prakriti, it's absolutely finished. But as long as it has a body, it has one mission: to show the way. And why wouldn't it? So this is the nature of divine love. Divine love is a passionate, physical, emotional, vital, heartfelt capacity to surrender to a current of becoming, of coming into existence, of being alive that you couldn't tap into otherwise. It brings profound awe, wonder, gratitude, strength, capacity to endure, capacity to keep meeting what it is that's in the way, that is greater than what truth by itself can do. Even though truth can cut the sword to see truth from untruth in its higher states, it has no power over its embodiment, no power over the manifestation or the direction of the unfolding of the possibility of creation. So it's only when truth chooses to descend into the darkness. First, of course, it'll always be on the one who has come to the truth, their system, because their system is a microism of the whole problem, of everything that keeps in bondage. And bring that truth energy down into that body embodiment. And what happens is in every territory, truth is able to conquer, meet, recognize for what it is, and refuse to give permission or consent for it to continue. Love manifests in that instant. We get off it. We recognize, wait, what am I hanging on to? Why do I have to be right? What if I'm totally wrong? Maybe I'm actually on the wrong side of what truth is. And you open up to a possibility. You open up to a freedom, a aliveness, a fearlessness, a courage, just from tapping into that one area of experience you weren't able or capable of meeting before. This is how we conquer.